What's going on, guys, and welcome to another video. My name is Eric of the Saiyan Lifestyle, and today this video was actually inspired by a couple of my clients, in-person clients, and my online students, where they asked me, hey, should I put constant tension into my workout? And this really caught me off guard because I honestly thought that constant tension was a relic of the past that we had kind of moved past because science proved it wasn't really that effective. But it got me thinking, like, how the heck did they think about constant tension? Well, I looked up and I found that there's actually a lot of things about constant tension, about how that's supposed to be superior to muscle gains over full range of motion. And I'll get into that later into the video. Now, I was kind of looking this up, and then I remember finding a guy on YouTube, Ryan Humiston, and okay, he has a lot of really good content on there. There's a few things I do not agree with him, and one of the things is that keeping constant tension on your muscle, that's really not going to help produce any greater muscle gain. And in this video, I'm going to explain what constant tension is versus time under tension, and the one clear winner we have, which is time under tension. And this whole thing was made popular by bodybuilders from like the 80s and 90s who praised constant tension as the only way or the greatest way to build muscle was to keep just a constant tension on your muscle like this that you never let rest even once during a set because they said it would be wasted. And it got me thinking about one video I watched previously, like in my past when I was still trying to didn't really know what I was doing in the gym, where it was actually a chest workout from Calum von Mauger. You may know about him. He's a really big time bodybuilder. And in his chest workout, he was talking about how, I didn't notice this at first until I rewatched it now years later, knowing more, where he said that he used to go into the gym, try and lift a lot of weights, just do stuff like that, lift really heavy, but now he just goes in, lifts a bit lighter, doesn't take tension off the muscle, kind of tries to just get a pump in. And the word pump really stuck with me, and I'm like, what does he talk about? Like, constant tension just gives you a pump? So I decided to look more into this, and I came up with this research. So what constant tension is where you don't ever take tension off the muscle. You actually perform half reps. So like if it was a bicep curl, you're just doing stuff like that, really not ever taking tension off the muscle. And what these studies shown is that it actually produces less of a muscle stimulus than time under tension. And that's because you're lifting lighter weights. Then your body doesn't need to exude a lot of power and recruit a lot of muscle fiber. But it can up the intensity just a little bit because you're going to feel that constant burn, and it will also help give you a greater pump as well. Problem is, you have to use sub-maximal weights, which is why your body's not going to recruit a ton of muscle fibers to complete it. You're using sub-maximal weights, and also you're cutting your range of motion short. And new studies have shown that with a longer range of motion, you're actually breaking down more muscle fiber because in the eccentric portion, you break down the most amount of muscle fiber. And yes, even when you're stretching, you are breaking down muscle fiber because you have that tension on the muscle. That's the reason why people who have never really moved before start stretching and they feel sore the next day. They broke down some muscle fiber and their body was like, hey, what the heck are you doing to me? Now, time under tension, here's the other one, time under tension, as a measure of how long a certain muscle is under tension. So let's say you're doing a dumbbell lateral raise. So the entire time you're completing this rep, even the concentric and eccentric portion, that is your muscle being under tension as a measure of how long your muscle is under tension. Like for some of my in-person clients, I have actually timed their sets because time under tension for your muscle is so critical. I even said before that even on the stretch portion, if you do things right, you're still going to have that constant tension on the muscle. So if you have not already, definitely go watch my dumbbell curl video where I'm going to show you how to actually do a dumbbell curl. That way you keep tension on the muscle the entire time. And even with time under tension, you can deliberately slow down the tempo so that you're focusing more on the eccentric, which is where a lot of the muscle fiber is broken down, and the stretch portion. So like if you're doing, let's say, a dumbbell lateral raise, you come up here and then you slowly just let it down. I know some people do use that as more of like an intensity technique where you're actually going to break down a ton of muscle fiber that way just by lengthening the eccentrics and slowing down the lowering portion. Now, the results came back from the study, and there's actually a couple good things about constant tension I should probably tell you about so that I don't get yelled at by the YouTube fitness community. So when it came back, constant tension actually did not produce that much more muscle gain. Yeah, you had a greater pump at the end of the workout, felt like you did a little bit more, but you really didn't have that much of a muscle breakdown. Because like I said, you're cutting that range of motion short, you're using sub-maximal weights, and also when you're using more maximal weights, your body gets that hormonal response where it's like, okay, time to build muscle, time to produce more testosterone so I can build more muscle. That's what lifting heavy does to your body. And also the higher recruitment too. And constant tension create a lower recruitment even though it create higher intensity. You need intensity, but you also need muscle recruitment as well. And so even though they did similar volume with the time under tension group, they actually experienced less weight with that volume. And we all know that weight plus volume equals muscle gains. And they found that time under tension had a much greater muscle breakdown for all the reasons I said before in this video. You're going to have similar volume with a higher muscle recruitment, so higher muscle breakdown, and you're going through full range of motion, so you're getting that full muscle contraction and full stretch at the bottom. So you have your muscle actually under tension the entire time because it's getting stretched out. Now here's the thing, constant tension can be used for a few things. I know I've used it previously before. I'm just trying to get like a quick pump in before an Instagram photo. Yes, I get a pump in before my Instagram photos. I do that. So does like every fitness YouTuber or Instagram influencer out there. They all do that. And also if you're trying to create more of a mind-muscle connection, trying to like, if you're having a tough time getting connected to your muscle and you're trying to fatigue it out a little bit so you can feel it more, then constant tension would be a good idea. But if you're just trying to break down the most amount of muscle fiber, create the most muscle and hormonal stimulus that your body can produce, and you're trying to get the most effective workout you can, then time under tension is going to be king for this. And it's the one that you should use in your workouts. Now guys, if you do like videos like this, give me one of these. Also, if you have any topics you want me to cover in the future, let me know in the comment section down below. And also, subscribe for more content coming soon, especially if you like videos like this. Any other links you might want to connect with me on will be right in the description down below. And guys, I'll see you all in the next video. Let's get it!